You back with your girls, Meesa and Meah from You Already Know. It's M&M Live Radio, and it's the moment you all have been waiting for.
Yes, sir. That's right, man. We're so excited about it. He has been a true pioneer in hip hop and his own community and has been consistently impacting the world for over a decade. Because of his boldness, he's made his music a safe haven for many to be unashamed about their journey and their walk in their freedom. Listen, he's released a documentary, a book, a podcast, and on top of that, y'all, the deluxe edition of his album Restoration is out right now. And we're going to talk to the man behind the music right here, right now. We want to welcome the one, the only Lecrae to M&M Live Radio. Lecrae, how you feeling?
Wonderful. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Listen, we're so happy to have you, finally get a chance to have you on the show. We really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us here on M&M Live Radio.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all love.
Now, listen, okay, Chris, so we finally have you on the show, and we're so happy to finally have you on to talk about your latest projects. But since we're in the holiday season, let's go ahead and start kicking off things in that area. We're getting time to spend time with our families. The holidays are up to create memories. You know, we want to know how is your family planning on celebrating Thanksgiving, even in the month or the season of Auntie Rona being in town, if you will?
Yeah, Auntie Rona's not invited, so it's gonna be it's gonna be very different this year. I mean, we already had planned on kind of like scaling down just because we knew we couldn't be like with a bunch of people, and so we kind of ramped up for Christmas, and everybody's got to get like the rapid tests done before they can come through. Yeah. So it's just got to be one of those situations, but for the Thanksgiving holiday, we typically, my wife is real big into doing something unique and original. So she's probably gonna want to like go get Thai food or something crazy like that. Like she's on some different stuff. So
that's so interesting. You said Thai food as opposed to Christmas cookies and dressing.
But listen, new traditions, we're already in such a new normal right now.
That's what she's on. She's on like doing something new. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely all those customs are welcome because we got to make the most of everything, especially with the holidays coming around. We don't want to let anything, regardless of what's going on, be able to weigh our families down. So I definitely love that. Listen, man, one word, man, and that word is restoration. That's been like the theme of, all of your projects, but even like, a journey you personally went on that you happen to let, all of us come in on with you being able to endure that journey. And honestly, I love how you've been able to have all of your so many different projects, not just the music, but the book and the podcast and, the work you're doing in the community, so many different things centered around that one word restoration. What inspired you to create a whole ecosystem of content centered around that one word being restoration?
I just wanted to make sure nobody was left out, that you could experience it in any way, shape, form, or fashion. If I'm being 100% honest, if I'm being candid, I was really inspired by Beyonce because she just, with the homecoming, she just is like, you're going to get this and you're going to get that and you're going to get this, and then Lemonade, just so many different aspects of it. And I was like, man, that's so brilliant how she does that. And I just thought, why not do the same thing, for the purpose of helping people find restoration.
Yeah, and I love that you even mentioned that. So we have Beyonce's Lemonade, Lecrae's Iced Tea.
Restoration.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it, man. But I also want to talk about this because you're so inclusive in every single thing that you do. We got to talk about the deluxe edition of the album Restoration that's out right now. Now there are 6 additional songs that are added to the project. What is it about these songs that were just so necessary to add to the narrative of the original album?
Man, I think for me, it was like the album was a complete story, and it's kind of like when the story's over, but then people have questions. It's like, wait, but what would happen, or what about this, and what about this? So it's kind of like what we did was we came back around with a few extra little pieces that we thought would fit, but maybe not fit in that story, but it's like kind of in addition to what you've already heard.
Yeah, we're definitely excited when you released when you even announced. It seemed like it was like, so out of the blue, but everybody was so excited for it. Listen, guys, your girls M&M are hanging out with Reach Records recording artist Lecrae, and we're talking all about the deluxe album of Restoration. Now, listen, there's one song on the deluxe album that I gotta ask you about, and that's Restored. You're not the only voice on the project. You got our girl Wande, and of course Hovey and 1K Few on it. Listen, Craig, y'all went nuts
Crazy
on that mug. Like it's insane how y'all were able to come together and just really go ballistic. And I know what I'm saying is right, because I feel like on my timeline on Twitter, that's all I saw was just people just, really gassing up the song. Talk a little bit about how that song came about and what is it about that song that makes it so special?
Yeah, well, it's funny because Wande was, her thing has always been like, if we're a movement and we're a unit, let's move like a unit. And she challenged us with that, and just kind of like, she was like, remember when, she's like, oh, you call yourself Lil Wayne a Christian rap? I was kind of joking when I said it or whatever, but then she was just like, but when he came out with Young Money, you heard Drake and you heard Nicki all together on projects, and it was like, we got something more real and that connects us even stronger, in terms of our faith. So we need to be really, linking up and doing that type of stuff. And I was like, you right on the money. And that was just a song that it was the perfect song to do it on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the song felt like a moment, yo. Like it was just like so perfect with the beat and then everything that everyone else had to contribute in their verses. I know everyone really felt y'all, and y'all really came with it when it came to it as a whole, like for real.
Yeah, absolutely. Now also, you just entered a new world of creativity, and I think that outlet is the world of podcasting. So excited for this, for all of your Patreon supporters. Now it's evident how much it's impacting your fans, but let's talk a little bit about how it's impacting you, just having the opportunity just to sit down, have a genuine conversation, open up, and just talk about your experiences with restoration.
Oh, it's been really great. A lot of people are getting introduced to my friends and seeing a different side of some of the artists. As you'll hear them as they start coming on as well. And yeah, for me, it's not so much. It's just not. It's not a production for me as much as it is just a opportunity to talk with my fans in a candid way. That's they wouldn't otherwise get to hear me.
Yeah. Now let's shift gears really quick, because we're talking about continuing a conversation that you have an opportunity of doing so on your podcast. What is it like continuing the conversation of building that sense of community, and not just in music, but outside of the studio, talking about, you going into the prisons and continuing your prison ministry, or going into the west side of Atlanta and building up the community there, and also even birthing and building your own peace preparatory academy.
Yeah.
What has that season been like for you in building up your community?
It's always been something that's been in me. I've always wanted to serve, and I've always been okay with being a servant leader, but sometimes you have to kind of step up and create opportunities for other people to serve and invest. And I really saw that as a unique place for me to create some pathways and projects for other folks to get involved and to serve. So it's been a blessing to be able to do it.
Yeah, I love that. Just creating things that are so much bigger than music. You know what I'm saying? Like things that, of course, like, you have of course, the creative content, but then even like things that are like legacy when it comes to like, building things for other like children and like, other families and things like that. Like not many people think about things like that outside of the music. So I just think that's just so dope. That most hip hop artists don't have that mind frame. And the fact that you're doing that even in our city, in the city of Atlanta, I think is amazing. Now, you've been so transparent when it comes to showing your journey, just showing that it's in the end, it's so worth it, going through the journey of restoration. Looking back over everything, creating the album and, even in the documentary, meeting your dad, creating the music, being vulnerable in the book and, everything. What has been the most freeing part of this whole process?
I think the freeing part for me is seeing other people find freedom, is other people knowing that they're not alone. So when you start sharing your struggles and sharing your journey and, talking about your mental health struggles, talking about your emotional, spiritual journey and struggles, and seeing other people say, oh, I'm not alone, there's somebody else out there. And seeing them find healing. That's really why I do it. That's what inspires me, and that's what liberates me, is when I realize that this is helping other people as I tell my story.
Man, I'm telling you, restoration has been, I feel like the word that everyone needs in 2020.
Yeah.
Truly has been the word that everyone needs in 2020. Now, before we let you go, you have 2 new singles out that are featured on the official soundtrack of PlayStation and Marvel's new video game, Spider-Man Miles Morales. We even have team members on M&M Live Radio's team that's so excited to even get the game, get the PlayStations. But I have to ask you the golden question I think everyone wants to know. Will Lecrae cop the new PS5?
Already copped.
What? We should have already known
Already
that.
copped.
We should have already known that. But what was it like for you to have your voice on a brand new Miles Morales, Spider-Man, PS5, that collaboration? What was that like for you?
It was super dope. It was a little bit intense. It was funny because my daughter, as I was making the song, I had to make it in quarantine. So I was in the basement, making the whole song. So she was getting tired of hearing it. She was like, oh my gosh. And then to see it all come out, her mind is kind of blown. Like, what? Like, I saw you working on this and now it's on this game. Like, what in the world? So that was kind of cool, man, just to see that whole thing come to fruition. But yeah, it's a blessing, man. It's really wild to see the response. Like, people are going crazy over that thing. I'm gonna have to give up my PS5 though, because my 9-year-old, he's that's mine.
So you gotta let that one go.
That's no longer yours, man. It's no longer yours.
Hand it over.
Christmas is coming early, man, for your 9-year-old. But Lecrae, thank you so much for hanging out with us on this week's show. But before you go, give everyone your social media so that they can stay connected with you.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all check me out. It's at Lecrae, Lecrae. Follow me. I'll take you somewhere.
Listen, y'all, make sure you guys are following Lecrae on all social media. And listen, man, make sure you guys go get it all. Go get the new book, Restored. Go support the podcast on Patreon. Go get everything. But also, guys, make sure you guys are go getting the Deluxe Album of Restoration. It's sold everywhere digitally.
Everywhere digitally. Get it right now at this very second. But Lecrae, we cannot express how much we appreciate you. Like Meah said at the beginning of the interview, you truly are a pioneer. You helped us even pave our way as far as what we do here at NCHH with M&M Live Radio. Just know that you totally have our support. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Love y'all.
Of course, man, we appreciate you. Now, to everyone out there, all of our listeners, keep it where you got it, because you're about to hear some that new heat, that new everything, new music from Lecrae right here,
That's
right now.
That's right. Here it is. Here is 10 Toes by the one and only Lecrae from his album Restoration, the Deluxe Album. Listen, don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. You're listening to, you already know,
is M&M Live Radio.